Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a little bit about this HITBOX welder that I got off of Amazon. This is a very good beginner's welder, and when I opened the box I was pleasantly surprised. This thing will do MIG welding with gas, it'll do flux MIG welding, 035 wire and 032 wire, 030 and 035 wire. Also, we'll do stick welding. When you open up your package, you're going to get this little brush / chipping hammer, set of drive rolls depending on what size wire you're going to use to drive the machine with. Then you get your gas hose, and it also comes with an extra liner to put in your MIG gun for larger size wire for the 035. So let's take a look. First off, here would be your stick welding clamp. It's built pretty well. I haven't actually tried the stick welding feature yet. I don't do much stick welding, mostly MIG welding. I bought this unit for a lot of portable work, little things that a 110 volt welder will run. So one other thing they do send is a 120 or a 220 volt to 110 volt adapter. Let's take a look here. Also, it does come with a roll of flux cord wire. So as soon as you get it out of the box, you can play with it because it does have the flux cord wire right out of the box. So I've already opened the machine, as you can see. I've loaded my flux cord wire in here. My drive wheels are in. Anybody that has been around a MIG welder much knows that you have to set your drive rolls. So that's all pretty well self-explanatory for anybody that has used a MIG welder before. Then we'll spin this around to the front right here, and I will go ahead and plug it into 120 volts. This is on a 15 amp breaker at my house, and I really haven't had any problems blowing breakers, and probably have a 100-foot extension cord on it. So on the front of it, it's got these DENS fittings that you use to change your between MIG welding, the polarity between flux cord MIG welding and gas MIG welding, and if you wanted to stick weld. And it says right here how it needs to be hooked up. So if you're gas MIG welding, you're going to want to put the wire feeder in the positive. If you're flux core, you're going to put the wire feeder in the negative. So we're going to put it in the negative for now, and then we're going to put the ground cable on the positive. That's just how it works when you're flux core welding. So here's the MIG welding gun that it comes with. Pretty nice little gun, really. I was pleasantly surprised. Feeds well. Go ahead and cut this off here. You can also see here, one thing I like is you can just, this thing's light, you can just pick it up. So there on the screen, it shows you your voltage and your wire speed. That's really nice. And then if you want to change between stick welding and MIG welding, you just press that center button, and that's how you change things over. So I grabbed a little strap of steel today, just to run a real short little bead on it, just to show you. I'm a hobby guy, so I'm not going to give you a welding lesson today, but I can stick two pieces of metal together. If you're looking at welders, you obviously know that you have to have a welding helmet. So I'll put my welding helmet on here, and let's do a little bit of welding. All right, there we go. There's just two little sample beads that I ran for you real quick. Like I said, nothing pretty. It is pretty windy here today, which I'm using the flux core wire, which that's what we run flux core wire for. That way we don't have to have that shielding gas. So I haven't tried this thing yet. Let's try this little chip and hammer to get the little bit of slag off of it I got. Wire brush it here. One thing I will note is this was a pretty rusty piece of metal that I just had laying out behind my shop to do a real quick video with. But as you can see, I probably had the heat turned up a little bit more than you would with this thin of steel. It burned in pretty tight. But really, the thing, it flows very well. Smooth. The wire feeds in it smooth. There's not a lot of popping. I'm really pleasantly surprised. And I can't wait to get some solid core wire and hook gas up to this thing, because I really think that it'll perform well then. So if you're in the market, I would say this HITBOX is a perfect welder for somebody that is on a budget and wants to get started doing a little bit of hobby shop welding. Seems to be a pretty good little unit. I can't wait to use it some more.